Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So today we have another Duratrol's crafting priority. This may be the final one because this is the 6th day we actually have this, and by now most of our key heroes have their charms crafted. Now for today we have tank and mage mainly, but we also have some universal essence that we will have to allocate. So we're going to go ahead and begin by doing our sweeps after clearing to floor 45, which is the maximum of course, and then we're going to be looking at the tank and mages. So for the tanks, if you are an AFK stage pusher, if you have Alna built, you do want to get her charms. And now the interesting thing is her optimal charms for AFK stages this season or this phase are actually going to be the acute charms, because this provides more attack and your artifact damage in AFK stages scales on your own attack. So having this attack is actually important for some stages, especially for the hard pushers. But if you are a hard pusher, you probably already know this and already are running them. So I am actually going to get the acute charms for Alna. Previously, and in PvP as well, Insight Charms definitely are the best charms set for her, and I was already beginning by crafting that, but now because of the acute charms being best for AFK stages, I'm actually going to go for the acute charms and get those crafted. So we're done with that. Now, apart from this, we also have another key hero, which is Fresto. Now, Fresto is in some good teams for Dream Realm today and Necrodraken, some Harak teams. However, the top team of today with Contest and Harak is not using Fresto. So you don't even need to use Fresto if you have Harak and Contest. However, if you do not have Contest and you want to go for a Harak team, the second best for no Contest is Harak and Fresto combo, in which case you will want to get Fresto charms. And for his charms, there are two different options which we can talk about. Now, if you have a low copy of Fresto, you probably don't need to worry about his charms, but also going forward in the future for Ravagedrum and things like that, his charms do sometimes come into play even for Titan Reavers. And so we're gonna go for, there are two options. You have Sturdy and you have Sorcery. Both of them are very similar, both of them are good options. There honestly isn't that much difference between the two of them. However, if you want to go for a more well-rounded charm set for PvP as well, if you're using him there or anywhere else, Sturdy Charms are better for that. But for purely for damage output, generally Sorcery Charms are slightly better. Again, it isn't much of a difference. It usually comes down to RNG more than anything. But I am going to go ahead and get the Sorcery Charms because when we look at the previous season Ravage Run, Fresto was slightly better on Sorcery Charms compared to Sturdy, but it was such a small difference that it doesn't really make much. So we have Universal Essence, we can finish it off and do that for our Fresto. Now, apart from this, do you have any other important heroes here? You have some. So if you want to use Theodore for AFK stages, he's fine with the red charms, but eventually you want to get him Insight Charms. It's just one minor upgrade you can consider, and for PvP as well, it's pretty nice. Apart from this, Damon, not really used in Dream Realm, but if you use him anywhere else, the Mystic Charms onto Damon are good. Even for the Legend Trial Tower and things like that, Mystic Charms on Damon are the best, so you can get that. Thorin, well, tomorrow is going to be King Croaker Day, and if you're running Thorin in your top team, Blast Charms on the Thorin are the way to go to increase your damage slightly, because you don't really need survival. But if you want to use them in PvP, then Bearer Charms are better, so that is a decent option, but you can wait for tomorrow to decide on that to see if Thorin is in your top team. And then Callan has some niche AFK stage use, also PvP is great. Now, the best charms for Callan generally are the Cheetah Charms. HP and Haze generally are the best option for him, and probably what I would recommend. However, sometimes for damage output, it has been some of the more offensive charm choices, such as Arcane or Blast Charms. I think it was actually Blast Charms, but I would probably just recommend Cheetah, which is the thumbs up one if you want to go for him, and Dunlinger, Resolute Charms for PvP if you want to focus on PvP. But that's basically it for these key heroes here. Not really anyone more important as of right now. So moving on to the mages. Mages, there are some important heroes still left over. Of course, you want to make sure you have these three, the Blast on the Galahad, Sorcerer on Aurora, and Mystic onto Mihira. You guys probably already have that. But if you want to go for more charms, Shamira has some use in King Croaker, which is coming out tomorrow. And also Shamira for Legend Trial Tower, if you're using her in PvP. For all of those reasons, she's not a bad hero to get your charms on. However, another good hero to get charms on is Cyran. However, I do think the Shamira charms probably do take a priority, and you want to go for the Butcher Charms on Shamira. So let's go ahead and craft the Butcher Charms of Shamira. That's all crafted and ready to go. And Cassie, you don't need. She's only for pre-endless, as you guys probably know. Taylene, I don't think she's gonna be in the top team for King Croaker, although on VN server, they were using Taylene. So, and tomorrow is a King Croaker day. So, Talene's one hero that, especially if you have her belt, maybe you want to keep an eye out on her. And usually her charm set are going to be the healer one, so she can recover faster. But we have to wait and see about that. Yeah, but it was on the VN server. My viewer, I remember, was running Talene in his top team, so I don't know if that's going to be the same for global. And then the other heroes here are mainly not really major priority. It's just Cyran, with the destructive charms most likely. But just to verify that charm set, like the way I check to make sure my charms, well, actually, I look at like basically any player on my friend list who's a hard pusher in AFK stages, and I take a look at what charm they've crafted for that hero if it's an AFK stage hero. This is one way that you can kind of be more sure in your decision. And okay, he's actually going for acute charms on Cyran rather than destructive. That is interesting. Maybe the execution is not actually as important. So, and yeah, and KY is one of the top pushers, so like I would probably trust that. But I think it probably doesn't make much of a difference which charm you actually go for on the Cyran. Because this one gives... Oh, this one doesn't give attack. Yeah, and for AFK stages, you need to have attack. That's important. Because that's going to amplify your artifact down. So yeah, I do think it probably will be the Q charms for Cyran. So I'm going to go ahead and do this crafting. I have quite a lot of Universal Essence left, as you guys can see. Because I even made it into my Apex stages, but I barely made it in there. And then like my guildmate has pushed and gone first clear rewards for everyone. So like for all of those reasons, I have that. But anyway, so there we have, basically, just to recap, for the mages, I went for Acute on Cyran, Butcher on Shmira. Talene would maybe be the healer charms, but we'll wait for that for tomorrow if she is actually in the top team. And then for the tanks, I went for Sorcery for Esto, Acute, Alna, but that's mainly for AFK stages. And we talked about the other tanks here. Now, for any other heroes, are there any other heroes? Yes, there are. There is Harak himself. We were saving his warrior, basically, essence for today to figure out what is his best charm set, because we were thinking his balance based on VN server, but there's always that chance of Butcher for him. And it is actually balance is doing best for him today. So you can safely go ahead and craft your balance charms on Harak if you have Harak built. Of course, only do this if you have Harak built, otherwise there's no point in you getting the Harak charms. But he is in the top team with those balance charms. So anyway, guys, that's going to be basically it for probably the final video we make on the charm crafting priority. As you see here, all of the major key heroes have basically been accounted for now, and even if we haven't personally crafted them, we did discuss it in this video series, and then we will do it in the future days. But maybe I will make an updated video like in a few days from now with making sure you have all of the key charms. But usually now it's not much of a worry. It's going to be waiting around for Ravage Realm to see what are the key heroes and what are they going to be the best charms. That's going to be the other big point where we will have to worry about charms again. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That's gonna be it for this video. If you have any other tips, you can feel free to share them in the comment section. That is always much appreciated. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.